For what turns a regular dad into a law-breaking superhero, we exclusively follow controversial pressure group Fathers for Justice on their protest trail, up to and including their assault on Buckingham Palace. Dad's Army, the men that stormed the palace, contains strong language throughout.
Hands up who's prepared to get arrested today.
All right. For my children's rights, I demonstrate. Why can't we see our kids? Why can't we see our kids? Why can't we see our kids?
This is Fathers for Justice at Work, a controversial direct action group dedicated to changing family law in Britain.
Fathers for Justice!
All of these men believe they are being unfairly denied access to their children. For the last 4 months, I followed the group's leaders as they executed a provocative campaign of stunts and attacks on the establishment.
That's your armed response.
No, let's not talk about it. Let's get a van, let's get going before I change my mind.
I wanted to find out what turns a law-abiding father into a law-breaking protester. But I could never have imagined that my journey would lead to Buckingham Palace and an assault that would propel Fathers for Justice to worldwide notoriety.
Justice for our children!
On a rainy morning, 2 months before his notorious assault on Buckingham Palace, I found Jason Hatch halfway up a ladder. The building this time was Gloucester Crown Court, scene of many of Jason's legal battles for contact with his children. For Jason and his fellow members, every roof scaled is one in the eye for the system they feel has let them down so badly.
I've been saying for 12 months I'll conquer this court roof, mate, and I have. So even if they lock me up for this one, it's worth doing.
Joined Fathers for Justice because I didn't think there was a men's movements group out there which were as active as Fathers for Justice. That's what I wanted to do. I needed to do something. I had all this energy and all this inside needed to be directed at something.
Jason told me he has problems seeing 2 of his children from his second marriage, which ended in acrimonious divorce. His ex-wife and children live only 100 yards away from his house, but despite various court orders allowing him contact, Jason says he's only spent time with his kids 4 times in the last 3 years.
I'm angry and I'm passionate because I love my children love me, and yet I'm still not allowed to see my children.
Fathers for Justice demand a change in the current family law to remove what they see as an inherent bias towards mothers. Jason and men like him believe the court system consistently fails fathers by denying them reasonable access to their children.
We've got to start having people accountable for these decisions that the judges make. Now, a father can see his child once every 3 months for a year, which is what one judge gave to me. That is absolutely shocking, to build a relationship, he said. How can you build a relationship for an hour and a half, once every 3 months for a year? You know, I don't live a million miles away. I'm not going to kidnap the children. So he had no rights to make that judgment, and yet he did. What you've got to do to see your kids. If they do lock me up, I'd be crazy. Then that's not going to be half as bad as opening that front door and seeing my children walk past in the mornings. That is a real heart terror. That rips me up inside. So there's nothing that they can do to me that is going to hurt me more than what the system's done to me. And when Fathers for Justice comes along, that really gave me that boost that I needed. And a lot of other fathers I know have said exactly the same thing. All they can think of is their children day in and day out. And when Fathers for Justice comes along, it's more than the children. You think of getting rid of this corrupt system where children are suffering, and fathers are suffering, grandparents are suffering.
Jason's friend and mentor is Matt O'Connor, the founder and leader of F4J. Whilst Jason's skills are about climbing buildings, Matt is the spokesperson and creative thinker. He's also a serial activist, having marched for CND, Amnesty, anti-apartheid and the miners' strike in the 1980s.
Hello, young man. Daniel.
Unlike Jason, Matt now has a good relationship with his ex-wife and does get to see his 2 children. Ironically, the amount of time spent running F4J means he doesn't get to see them that often. Matt admitted to me that he was a hopeless husband, one of his biggest regrets in life.
I yearn for this normal life that I used to have. I just crave to just go back to being married and, you know, being with the kids and, you know, just being a normal bloke, rather than stuck in this organisation, which is obviously there to do great things, and I have to live with it and work and carry it forward. But this time is great when I've got, you know, like these guys are fantastic. You know, they're just such phenomenally great children.
Have you ever seen Dad dressed up as Spider-Man?
No. No. Yeah, but Elvis, yeah, definitely Elvis.
And what do you do when you do actually get to spend some time with your dad?
We do fun stuff with him.
My own personal experience, where I nearly lost contact with my boys after an acrimonious divorce, resulted in myself and my ex-wife going through a highly adversarial system, which pitched the 2 of us, you know, really at loggerheads. And if divorce is like a burning house, going into the family legal system is like emptying a plain load of napalm onto the situation. The thing just went, and you are treated like a third-class citizen if you're the non-resident parent, i.e. if you're not living with the kids. And there's no recognition of the fact that these children are your flesh and blood.
I do the one, yeah?
Somebody had to do something. Somebody had to make a stand. And that's why I set the group up.
Members of F4J come from all walks of life, and Jason is probably the most committed member. His Gloucester home is always a hive of F4J activity.
Dave, we're leaving the back. Are we doing the back and the top?
I am one of the boys. I've had no training to talk to media. I haven't had it, you know, I'm not that. I'm a painter and decorator.
So just what are these chains for?
These chains have been around the front doors, where you've got a 2-door system that should be chained up and locked up there. My job title in Fathers for Justice is National Coordinator and Operations Manager. So yeah, it's going to have some fun.
F4J has grown at an enormous rate. They claim to have 12,000 members in 36 branches up and down the country, each led by a local coordinator.
Make sure you get all over that lock, Dave. Get with them gloves, Pat. Get with them gloves.
It's Jason's job to travel the country and encourage as much direct action as possible, from leaflet drives and small demonstrations to assaults on court buildings.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get in there.
After watching them glue and chain the doors of the courts, I couldn't help but wonder how much this was about protesting, or how much it was about getting even with a system they can't beat. And so, how do you feel when you're climbing up a building?
When I climb up a building dressed as Batman, I always dress as Batman. It's the adrenaline. I've got it flowing now because I know we're doing something tomorrow. Well, the whole of the week. I know we've got plans for the whole week. I'm buzzing. I'm starting. You can feel it now. You can feel it in me hands and me feet. I want to go now. I'm ready. But when we went out and had a look earlier on, the adrenaline pumping through me then, knowing that, you know, honestly, it's a feeling you'll never know unless you do it.
As well as court buildings, F4J like to vent their anger at the offices of CAFCAS, the Children and Family Court Advice and Support Service. CAFCAS is the body of ex-social workers who write reports on both parents for the courts to base their decisions on. F4J see them as another part of the system which fails fathers. Part of F4J's ethos is to maintain a level of humour in all their protests. Today, it's Batman and Catwoman making another rooftop statement.
Some of the things we do are very provocative, are very in your face, but a lot of people will still smile. You know, you see Spider-Man up somewhere, or you see the superheroes up, or even if you patted on the Prime Minister, a lot of people still smiled. I mean, it's very daring. Some would say it's cheeky, some would say it's irresponsible, but a lot of people still smile, and we always try and use a bit of humour in what we do. It's a really important ingredient.
We're trying to make an escape here. It should be rather good.
Come on, Dave, fuck's sake.
I always think for the guys, it's some kind of like cathartic process where they can smile a bit. You know, it gives these guys hope that we can change the law, that we can make a difference.
Well done, darling.
Catwoman and Batman evade arrest by escaping from the back of the building.
Where's Dave gone then? Dave?
Yeah, he's still the car.
What's just happened is we've just took the piss at the Gloucestershire Constabulary. We've actually removed Batman and Catwoman and they're gone. And I love it. It's absolutely brilliant.
F4J's summer of protest was in full swing. Little did I know where it would end.
What's up, Scary Mary? You look scared of your own phone.
I am. It's costing me a fortune.
Hey, no worries. You could get yourself a better deal at Phones For You. Phones For You could find you a better phone and save you money on your bills.
That is for you?
Phones For You.
Ambipure Inspira. For Ambipure, there's nothing better than liquid perfume to make your home naturally attractive. Pure inspiration.
Panasonic Viero flat panel television with integrated digital tuner to access Freeview services. Experience a new visual era. Panasonic, ideas for life.
Ciao, Sophia.
Sorry.
Niente.
Sorry.
In Italy, different flowers have different meanings. Chrysanthemums, for example, are associated with funerals and sadness. At HSBC, we never underestimate the importance of local knowledge. HSBC, the world's local bank.
It's hell gardening in heaven, Bev. Even the snails have wings. It's worth it, mind. I am going to make Philadelphia with garlic and herbs.
It's been done, Dan. Cool, creamy Philly with garlic and herbs.
Not bad. Just with my rhubarb and sprout filling.
Philadelphia with garlic and herbs.
How far has he come?
Where does that go? What does that feel like?
Where will your curiosity take you? P&O Cruises. There's a world out there.
Come on, we're here.
Lucky! Quick, the door.
There he goes, Dad.
If you're a safe driver, More Than Car Insurance lets you protect your maximum no-claim discount and keep it protected for life, however many bumps or scrapes you have. In fact, More Than promise that your premium will never go up just because you've made a claim.
That's lucky. That's more than lucky.
Car insurance, don't accept less than More Than. Call 0800 300 202. It's a real winner.
Nothing changes. Welcome to the free market.
I saw officers with my own eyes.
What's this going to cost us?
You know, when you need to move the girls on, you come running.
Sex Traffic. Thursday at 9 on 4.
Howard Bashford is one of F4J's newest members. He was a managing director of a major computer company, earning a six-figure salary. He'd always been a firm believer in the British legal system. That is until his wife left him, taking their son with her.
My wife and I had known each other for 17 years, and we'd been almost childhood sweethearts, and I totally loved her. And my wife left my home, and that was it. My life was shattered completely. She took my little boy. Following that, I was not allowed to see my child, and then I just started my court battles. But these are my court papers, and these are only part of my court papers. I have another set of boxes, probably as large as that, scattered around the house in different bedrooms. But it's devastating to feel that 4 years of your life and the whole of your child's future sits in 4 boxes in Grandma's garage. The reason I believe that she doesn't let our child and myself have good contact is she moved on. Within a weekend, she moved her life completely on to a new life. Basically, she took the old one and she boxed it, she locked it, and she chucked it.
Howard has spent 4 years battling to get better contact with his son. He last saw him in August. His next contact is scheduled for 5 days at the end of October. I wanted to know what it was like trying to maintain a parental relationship with such infrequent contact.
All you can do is try and work as much as you can to make your child feel that it's a normal weekend and that you love them very much. And when you put them to bed, you stand there and you watch them. And all the thoughts about who they are, how they're growing up, what their school is like, what they do during the day, what they think. You just stand and watch. I have to admit that when he comes to our house for a weekend, I probably don't sleep for about 48 hours, because I spend the night time just watching him in bed. And those moments are the most special moments in my life. And they're all I have, and I have to take every second of every hour that he's with me. And I can't give up one of those minutes.
I think the law is being cruel and abusive to children, and it has got to stop. Because that child is going to need his daddy. He's certainly going to need him someday. There's no doubt about that. He'll want him. But why leave him out now?
The court on 2 occasions has basically said, go away, wait 10 years, and your child might try and find you. I now understand. They told me to go away. This is what led me to go to the Royal Court of Justice, and as I'm no longer a parent, and effectively I no longer have a child, I left all of our child's toys across the steps of the Royal Court of Justice. It's the only way I could make a demonstration, and it was the saddest time in my life to see all of our child's toys strewn across the steps of such a building as that, and a building that's done to him what it has done.
Excellent.
It's come to a stage now where I do not trust the courts, and I know that the courts will not come up with the answer.
Howard has never broken the law. Even by staging his own small protest, he crossed the personal line.
I cannot believe, from where I've been in life, that I am now ready to be as active as anybody in Fathers for Justice.
I wondered how much further Howard would go to get his message heard.
And
The family law system hasn't changed for 15 years, but the ground is beginning to shift. The Conservatives have changed their party policy, much of it echoing F4J's demands. It's the 22nd of July and the government has released a green paper which concedes the law needs reform. The main thrust of the paper is to make the courts take a tougher stance on mothers who flout court orders, and that the judicial process should be sped up. Matt doesn't think the paper goes far enough, but I think he's really excited to be sharing a platform with mainstream politicians. It recognises F4J as the main protagonist for change.
Obviously today talking about the green paper, so probably, even though I haven't seen it yet. Oh, fuck it. Yeah. Right, okay, yeah, don't worry, you need it.
Good morning. The government finally listening then?
I wish. Well, I think that for most fathers will be choking on their cornflakes this morning. What the government's basically doing is recycling the existing legislation, which is the 1989 Children's Act, and presenting it as reform. But that's what we've come to expect from this government. Right, we're done. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it's important you deliver a consistent message, that the message is repeated so it sinks in, because not everybody's going to catch every news bulletin, obviously. So we want to deliver a consistent news message every single day. 100 children have lost partial or total contact with their fathers. That's over 40,000 children a year. So we have a series of sound bites that we use today that kind of time with our response to the government's green paper. That's 300,000 children in the lifetime of this Blair government. What we'd like to see is for the government to introduce legal presumptions to contact, presumption of 50-50 parenting time, so both parents are treated equally in the eyes of law.
And what I would say to Matt is we have to put the child's interest first, and the child is not a CD disc or something that you can pass between parents.
In law, the father's rights were protected the mother, rather than assuming that the child will go with the mother.
In law, the child's interest has to come first.
Right, well, I think you probably all agree on that, so the child has rights. And Matt O'Connor, thanks very much for giving us yours.
Pleasure.
And Margaret, thank you for giving us yours. Thank you.
OK, thanks. I'll finish GMTV. Hodges full of shoot. Lovely, thanks mate, cheers. Thanks, cheers. I am prepared to go to prison. I'm prepared to be in this campaign right until we get justice in family law, justice for our children, and equality over 100 Act. Parents and grandparents are rights in this country to see their children and grandchildren. It's been absolutely manic. TV, radio, press. We've had the lion's share of the coverage. We've made another kind of massive leap forward in terms of getting the Labour Party and Tory Party started to fight over this issue. Fucking hell, mate, you're going to look like Shirley Bassey out there on that.
Matt was clearly in his element sparring with politicians, but I could tell he wanted to create some mayhem elsewhere. For Matt, a good target is one that wins column inches. And what could be better than the Church of England?
Hiya, my name's Matt O'Connor. I'm the founder of Fathers for Justice. Obviously, I appreciate if you keep this under your hat, but just to inform you, there's a protest going on at the General Synod today in York, actually at York Minster. Fantastic. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Hands up who's prepared to get arrested today. We feel very strongly that the church is failing fathers, failing families, and most importantly, it's failing children. And so we are in action this weekend at York Minster. Just hold your nerve, keep your nerve together.
I'd only spent a short time with Fathers for Justice, but it was clear the success of their protests had more to do with surprise and daring rather than their planning.
We've been rumbled. The security guard has just come out and asked us what we're doing. We didn't tell him, but we're just going to have to go and do it right now.
Let me just go in, guys. Fuck it. Let's go.
While Matt and the others made their way to the front of the building,
Hang on, mate, hang on, don't shake it.
Jason and Andy began a long climb to the roof.
Right, guys, sorry if
The plan was to walk reverently into the Minster, fooling the doorman with the authenticity of their clothing. But suddenly they were off.
Let us in then, don't be stupid.
After a brief scuffle, the Archbishop allowed Matt 2 minutes to address the Synod, the governing body of the Church of England.
I pray that you will help us change the law in this country to rebuild the family, heal the pain, heal the suffering, heal the anguish of children and fathers alike, and deliver us from the evil of family, law, injustice.
I am fucking sweating. I'm fucking sweating.
And I'd like again to ask forgiveness for disrupting the service. Thank you.
We're at the top, mate, ready?
There was a little bit of resistance, but
a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of resistance.
You going to do more of this? We've already said, and we're in the Church Times on Friday, St Paul's, major cathedrals, major events. There's actually an ongoing rooftop protest as I speak at the moment here on the church.
Well, above.
I am the Cardinal of this lovely building. What is it? York what? Of York Minster. I will grant all you fathers out there access to your children. And most of all, children access to their fathers.
During the scuffle to get into the building, a glass door was cracked and everyone was arrested for criminal damage. Matt was in his element.
Oh, okay.
This is police harassment for peaceful protest.
Back outside the Minster, I met Gemma, Jason's girlfriend. Despite being a new mum, she'd arrived to give her support.
We just had a baby 5 months ago together, little girl. You know, I feel sorry for her because her daddy's got to fight for his rights, which means that, our life's sort of on hold at the moment. So I'm continuing to fight this law with Jason, so he gets what he deserves, and then we can get on with our lives, hopefully.
5 hours later, Matt and the others are released without charge, so Jason came down from the roof only to be arrested himself. Little did I know that within a month he'd become a household name for climbing a more famous building, and that his partner Gemma would share the front pages in a far less supportive role. The next day, Matt was elated. Although not front page news, Jason's exploits as the rooftop cardinal had made it into most of the national press.
There's a few of the papers. Let's have a look. The Sun calls us unholy fathers. Daily Mail, Minster Mayhem, Daily Mirror, Holy Disorder. This publicity is critical to creating awareness, to stimulating debate. That's what we're there to do. We're there to be provocative, we're there to be confrontational, and we're there to challenge people's views.
York Minster was hailed as a great success, but has left Matt with more bills to pay. Money is a big issue for F4J. Matt claims to have funded most of the protests from his personal savings. Now, even with a £25 membership fee, income isn't keeping up with expenditure.
Some people laugh and think we're sort of, rolling around in filthy lucre, and the reality couldn't be further from that kind of portrayal, because we are fucked, basically. So it's a question of how fucked we are.
But I keep seeing all these £25, £40 cheques coming in.
Well, to cover £7 or £8 bill, you need a lot of bloody cheques.
Later that afternoon, the accountant arrived to check the books. The news wasn't good.
Wasn't with the option for anybody.
Yeah.
You just stop trading, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just draw the line. That's it, mate. You've ceased trading.
Yeah. That's not good when your accountant starts seeing to wind the fucking up.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I'd never seen Matt this close to tears before. I'd begun to realise that he needed F4J as much as it needed him. But how would he cope with this crisis?
That's just 200 quid to set up. Your cheque
Despite their financial problems, Matt's bought a double-decker bus. He wants to use it to block the M25, and it needs to be given an F4J purple paint job. A group has been organised to rendezvous at Guy Harrison's farm in Sussex. Guy, a campaign veteran, was the man fined £600 for throwing flour at Tony Blair. After a 2-hour wait, there's still no sign of Matt.
Matt's on his way. I think his navigation is about as good as mine, so I think he was meant to be here about half an hour ago.
Boys have come down to paint the bus and do some work on the bus. We're meant to meet Matt down here with the kit. Of course, there's no sign of Matt. Nobody can get hold of him. It was Saturday about 7 o'clock. And he was spluttering and whatever, so I know he'd had a drink.
Can you explain what's up with Matt?
Well, we presume that he's well, we know he's got a drink problem, and we presume that's what we're putting it down to. Now, obviously, we're debating what we're going to do with F4J, because obviously this is not the first time we've been let down.
Absolutely.
But then what can we do now? You know, I've got these guys down today.
It's much better to get Matt's agreement and understanding. He needs to understand he's actually, you know, fucking a lot of people around.
Yeah.
Matt, how are you?
Fucked, pretty much. Just a combination of pressure and stress and alcohol addiction.
Just one glass and it just goes on and on, and he goes on like, I know he's gone on sessions like 3 days to a week and he's out of action.
This is kind of like fucking tough time. This is the kind of real crux, because it's either all going to go completely pear-shaped, I quit or whatever, or you know I've got to fight that fucking battle. You know, biggest battle is not just with the government; it's with the bottle. But he's struggling. It is an evil problem.
Do you have any great regrets in life?
Yeah, quite a few actually.
Like what?
Well, it's just, you know, that I'm not there for my kids at the moment. Yeah, I've got 2 fantastic kids.
While Matt's drinking problem has dominated the day's business, Howard has arrived to help the team. It may only be painting a bus, but it's still an enormous step for him.
Now I'm totally lost. We are flirting with the law. I'm very scared of the consequences of that. I've been a law-abiding citizen all my life. I try to respect the law. I certainly can't respect family law anymore. And I suppose, in a way, we are encroaching in another area of law. But there's no other way to do this.
You come down to be a bit of an activist then, mate, haven't you? Jason Hatch. How you doing, mate?
But yeah, whatever we need to do.
But yeah.
So I heard we were painting. Is this the...
This is it.
This is going to be the masterpiece?
Yeah.
Big purple bus.
And the plans are to take it on the M25 and find a parking bay for it to rest. We need a driver, actually.
It may seem like a motley crew from the outside, but these people have the conviction and the guts to do what a lot of people say they do, but don't do. And you've got to admire and respect that. I'm very pleased I'm part of it. I'm very proud I'm part of it.
You always feel very alone as well.
Yeah.
And it's only, you know, Father for Justice and this kind of stuff that really makes you feel that you're not alone. You're actually in a huge, you know, majority of people.
Absolutely, but you have to do something. It's now come to the stage where something has to be done. I mean, these are children's lives.
There's no signal coming down.
You have a clue what you're doing here?
I haven't got a clue. Don't know.
Thank you for your help, and we'll see you again.
What you need is a bus driver.
So, how was it done? How was...
Busy. A little bit disorganised to start off with, but I think people just get things done. In the end of the day, everybody just mucks in, and the mission will be accomplished by the end of the day, I'm sure of that.
As Howard left, I wondered what was going to happen to the organisation he'd just signed up to. With both financial and leadership problems, F4J would have to come up with something truly extraordinary if they were to survive into their 3rd year. They wouldn't have too long to wait.
Oi, you! Go on, get out! Come on, these are the new recipes. They have to be the best ever. Let's go, go, go! Wrong. Oh, my taste buds salute you. Well done.
The all-new range of Home Pride sauces. It was tough, but we got there. In 25 years' time, the people of Britain will look back on this moment and say, ah, yes, that was the year which changed our world forever. Their world will be very different from ours, of course. They'll probably have mobile telephones and watch movies on shiny little space-age discs. And a Russian billionaire will probably have bought Chelsea. But in their kitchens and in their hearts, they'll still have McCain oven chips with less than 5% fat. I see a happy future, viewers, don't you? Chin up, Britain.
Quaker Oats So Simple now comes in different varieties. There's new apple and blackberry flavour, fruit muesli flavour, even golden syrup flavour. And because oats are full of slow-release energy, they'll help you get off to the best possible start. It's not difficult to find a breakfast that'll help you keep going till lunch. In fact, it's Oats So Simple.
I thought you looking, didn't I? It's all right. You can look. I'm so creamy, and yet so crispy. You know you can't resist me. Go on, take a bite.
Kinder Bueno. Deliciously creamy and crispy. So satisfying.
Yet so light.
Kinder Bueno. You can't resist it.
I'm 43. Thing is, on the inside, I'm still 17. I want a snog, not a kiss. I don't want to make decisions. I don't want to wear a watch. Sometimes I don't really want to wear anything.
Finances, fixed interest securities and annual indexation thingies. Talk to me, Dad. I'll worry about being older when I am older.
I'm only 17. Think I always will be.
It could be someone's very lucky day.
It's a lotto rollover this Wednesday. The National Lottery.
Think lucky.
Isn't it annoying when dishes aren't completely cleaned the first time round? And you have to re-wash? Stop! A new way begins today. New Finish 3-in-1 Brilliant. With its powerful new formula and unique Powerball technology, cuts through grease and blasts away all kinds of tough stains, delivering unbeatable cleaning and brilliant shine. New Finish. Brilliant results first time, every time, without re-washing.
Who are the greatest artists of the 80s? UK Music Hall of Fame, Sunday at 9 on 4.
Matt had arranged to meet Jason and another FJ member called Dave in London. I'd seen Matt bounce back from a drinking binge before, but with the financial problems mounting, I wondered if he was going to hand over the leadership to Jason.
There are a lot of problems, and a lot of those problems are still there. And I had to look at myself quite hard and try and say, you know, can we still do it? And the answer has to be yes, providing I'm strong, providing I'm mentally strong and capable of doing it, and with the guys around here supporting and all the rest of it. We have a job to do, and to help with everybody else, you know, we just do it, and we do it because we believe in it. End of story.
I realised, of course, Matt was never going to give up, and although they wouldn't tell me, I knew that something extraordinary was being planned. Just days later, I received a phone call telling me to go to an address on the Isle of Dogs.
Well, you've got a fence, and you've got a boat.
When I got there, it was clear that the plans for parking the purple bus had been dropped.
Then we need to pull that ladder back over. You know, we need that ladder.
Instead, the group had already decided on a new target.
But you can't see that.
I couldn't believe Jason would actually go through with it.
However far away.
And what are your concerns about this one?
The concerns of this one is there's armed response here, there's armed response here, there's armed response here, and that's just what we could see.
I think they'll be very reluctant to take a shot at you unless you're obviously a danger, yeah. But if you're just walking along a wall, you're not, particularly if this is Batman.
Yeah.
You know.
To the balcony. I would like to do the balcony. I'd like to have the super dads or fathers for justice across this balcony bit here, because all this is packed with people, as you know.
Is it worth this risk?
Yeah.
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 It's if this comes off, this is mega publicity. You know.
What this would be worldwide, wouldn't it?
Oh, you and me.
Cheers. Bugger. This is the ultimate one, this is. This is the ultimate one.
How worried are you about the gun thing? The fact that there are arms?
Well, see, the terrorist thing is a huge issue at the moment. It's a worry, but they ain't going to shoot us. We're fathers for justice. They can't shoot us. I'm a superhero.
Yeah, but they can shoot you.
Yeah, but I'm Robin. They can't shoot Robin.
The thoughts centred around the potential for being shot.
It's the nerves, it's the nerves.
And tension in the room began to mount. Then suddenly, Jason made a decision.
No, let's not talk about it. Let's get a van, let's get fucking going before I change my mind.
Me tense? No, never. I really am worried about this, to be quite honest. And it's totally unknown. We don't know how the authorities are going to react. You know, they could come down like a ton of bricks on all of it.
Use a push.
I'm worried that they may overreact and shoot Jason and Dave.
I followed Jason's familiar painter and decorator van. The ladder was drifting off the roof rack, and I still thought they'd pull up outside the palace and change their minds. But they didn't.
Hold it, Dave, hold it, please. Give me a banner. Drop it down, go on. Banner. Hold that ladder. Farmers for justice! Farmers for justice! citizens of the family law in this country. Sorry to bother you.
Batman! We're proud of you, Batman!
Daddy loves them! Daddy's not giving up! He's not giving in the fight! A couple of hours, that's it. Cut the camera crews, cut the pictures. If there's not the camera crews are not here yet. No, they're not. No, they're not yet.
Amazingly, Jason looked calm and relaxed as he chatted to the palace security. Within a couple of hours, the media was streaming footage to every country in the world. Jason wasn't just on a 6-inch ledge, he was on a worldwide platform.
Good, Chase! Good, Chase!
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, actually. It's great, because obviously, I'm looking around for police watching me, but they don't look too clever, do they? They must really fucking hate us. Yeah, it's a byproduct of what we do that we highlight problems in security, but let's face it, it is only Batman up there. It's not a terrorist.
That sure would have looked good with Robin on that side as well. Oh, there's your heralds.
With typical PR spin, Matt had a soundbite to justify the assault.
No, boy!
We're in Her Majesty, you know, it's her court, she's responsible for the courts, she's responsible, ultimately she has to carry the account for what's going on in the family courts, and we wanted to take that message straight to Buckingham Palace, straight to the Queen's main residence, and send a message back. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we're here to do a job, and I want us to bounce back from our wobble the other week, and we've done that.
After 5 hours on the ledge, Jason was beginning to look exhausted. Below him, Dave was telling the world how an armed guard persuaded him down the ladder. After making sure he was still there for the 7 o'clock news, Jason agreed to come down. Buckingham Palace is a far cry from York Minster, and no one, least of all Jason, could know how much his time on the ledge would cost him.
Someday, everything will cost less than you think. With Dell, someday is today. It's our 20th anniversary sale, and this Dimension desktop with an Intel Pentium 4 processor is just £379. That's an amazing £50 off. Someday, everything will be as easy as Dell. You won't find Dell in the shops, so call or go online.
No problem.
Sainsbury's reckon they're serious about making the Taste the Difference range even better. So serious they've employed John Wood, a Michelin-starred chef.
Is it just regular stuff in posh packaging? Absolutely not. Take this cheddar. It's made from a 50-year-old traditional family recipe. To me, Taste the Difference means the best of what we sell.
You're going to say that, aren't you?
Not just me. We've blind tested all of our new products. If they don't come at dispatch, we don't sell them. It's about making everyday food taste great.
Hi, Barry Scott here, asking whether you have problems with limescale, rust, ground-in dirt. They're a challenge for some household cleaners, but not for Sillet Bang, the incredible cleaning sensation. Simply spray it on and tiles gleam. Limescale is simply calcium that sticks, and if solid calcium dissolves this fast, imagine how Sillet Bang works on taps and sinks.
soap scum gets washed away by Sillet Bang. Even outdoors, Sillet Bang just eats up rust and dirt. Look how it gets this old penny. Good as new. Glass, metal, ceramic, stone. Sillet Bang cleans up the lot. New Sillet Bang. Bang! And the dirt is gone.
The Airwick Winter Collection. 2 limited edition festive fragrances, mulled wine and winter's eve, guaranteed to bring the spirit of Christmas to any home.
Yeah, oops, I nearly dropped the phone. Anyway, oh Jenny, this new cat food looks almost homemade. It's Felix. It's called As Good As It Looks. Well, it's completely different. Sort of meaty flakes, very posh looking. Unlike Felix himself, and judging by a certain gentleman's behaviour, it tastes pretty good too.
New Felix As Good As It Looks. Seeing is believing.
Experience an exciting new mouth sensation. New Oral-B Sonic Complete. 3 modes let you customise brushing to clean, go easy on sensitive spots, and massage for individual mouth care. It's your mouth. Brush it your way. New Oral-B Sonic Complete.
In 90% of divorce cases, custody of children is handed to the mother.
The family justice system in this country is a farcical reactionary joke.
Bob Geldof looks at the rights of fathers and the law he believes is failing them.
This is a nonsense.
Geldof on Fathers, tomorrow at 9 on 4.
The following day, the police released Jason after spending a night in hospital suffering from dehydration.
Please, no comments. Come on. No comments.
He was taken by F4J to a hotel in central London, where the mood was triumphant.
Come here. Good to see you. How you doing?
Not surprisingly, the assault on the palace had been F4J's most successful publicity stunt ever. They'd made the front page of every newspaper in the country.
Have you not seen it?
No.
Holy security Batman.
That picture.
It is just incredible coverage. It makes the Blair thing look like very small beer indeed. It's better. It's not our fault if Buckingham Palace security is a shambles or the security in the House of Commons is a shambles. The fact that you can get a window cleaning superhero up onto Buckingham Palace in sort of less than a minute speaks volumes.
So I kept running, and as I'm running across this edge, right, all of a sudden you hear, and there's the bloke with the rifle from the front gate, right, he's ran across, and he's saying, please, hold it now, I'll shoot. And of course, as he says that, I hit this fucking concrete beam, so I'm like,
The following morning, the world's media was still desperate to hear Jason's story. At 5:30, Jason was about to go on GMTV. Behind the scenes, Matt was in his PR element.
Love actually be involved, love the Queen to be involved. Queen Charles went through a really bad divorce. Get that in, that's really good. That's what kind of stuff you can get involved, you know. Get the royal family involved.
But then the bombshell landed with the morning papers.
For God's sake. Oh, that silly woman. Why can't she just fucking behave?
Gemma's on the sun this morning.
Gemma's on the sun. Don't worry about it, mate.
It would seem that Jason's girlfriend, Gemma, who I last saw at York Minster, had given an interview which went to every newspaper in the country.
I think she is. That's an absolute. Well, so much for Gemma.
The articles paint Jason as an irresponsible father who's too busy campaigning to spend time with her and their daughter.
That's my private life. What you're here to do, you are a campaigner, you're doing it for a cause, and that's the way forward, yeah? So just don't get bogged down, alright?
I just had a picture of the children in my mind and just kept going. There was a guard down there with a semi-automatic rifle that clicked over a couple of times and just kept going.
What's happened is Jason's ex-girlfriend has literally spoken to just about every Tom, Dick and Sally. Anyway, I guess it keeps the story alive.
Jason had told me they'd already separated, but the papers were implying that Gemma had left him because of his latest F for J exploits. For Jason, the personal consequences of his actions were hitting home. Not only had he been trashed in the press, but he could be facing yet another court battle.
You've got a daughter with you. What's going to happen? Well, exactly. I don't know what's going to happen. We were just talking about this earlier on. I don't want a court battle, but if that's what it comes to, then that's what it comes to.
Despite the shock of the press backlash, Jason was determined to defend his position as an aggrieved father.
Did you read that Guardian article this morning saying that, you know, it's like a hobby?
Well, I don't know.
The Guardian putting that in, saying that we do this for a hobby.
Not a hobby.
Believe you me, it's not a fucking hobby.
It's an obsession.
It's an obsession to get this law changed. I ain't whiter than white. I don't claim to be. If you want a saint, you can go to Bob Geldof. You know, they come up with all this shit on the piss head, and you know, I scammed this bloody Buckingham Palace over drunken binge night, and I so-called bedded 100 women. What a load of tosh. I wish. Yeah, bloody hell, since F for J, mate, women have been, you know, like they chuck whatever they want to chuck at me. I don't care.
We both had a chat the other day about this, didn't we? That, you know, could we carry on with this? But the driving force is the kids. Whatever it takes, that's what we'll do.
Get you pulled up.
Yeah.
300 miles away, Jason's actions inspired another Batman and Robin to break the law. This time, Robin was played by Howard.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Howard?
Incredibly nervous. Incredibly nervous. I'm very cold. I'm not dressed for this. I didn't think about what to wear at all on this occasion. So, totally with these on. Do I wear these jeans then, or am I going to get into something else?
Leave your jeans on.
This is the last thing I want to do in the world. But there's only one little guy that I think about, and that's our child. And I can't back out, and it's for our little guy. That's why I have to do it, and that's it. It's just black and white.
He's exhausted every avenue open to him in the legal process. And when you disenfranchise people from the legal process, people will break the law in those circumstances.
Justice for our children!
It's all about our children, and I hope that in the end of the day that no, he understands that he has two parents, and but I did have to go an extra mile or two for him, so I hope when he's 18 we'll be sitting there having a beer one day and be having a damn good laugh about that huge bridge that I climbed once.
Back in Bristol, Jason was in court again for yet another hearing to find out when he could next see his children.
Police van, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 police vans for a handful of protesters. The words overkill might kind of spring to mind.
F for J turned out to support Jason, but with his Buckingham Palace notoriety, the police decided to clamp down on any potential trouble. They prevented access to the court building. Matt was back in the thick of it again.
What do we want? What do we want?
I read in the paper that 50 men dressed as Batman were protesting outside the Colosseum in Rome. Branches of F for J were being set up in Canada and America, and 2,000 more fathers had applied to sign up online in the UK. One of Matt's cheesier soundbites called F for J the suffragettes of the 21st century. Maybe that's how they'll be remembered. Eventually, Jason emerged from the court. His access problems remain unsolved, but his commitment to change the system of family law remains unshaken.
So you can't carry on scaling buildings? I'm going to carry scaling buildings, of course I am. I'm going to carry on being very active. I know I'm going to have to watch me back because I followed and everything else. But you watch. I've never let you down before. I told you I was going to do something, and I've done it on numerous occasions. Very shortly, I'm doing something else again.
For more information about the UK's laws on child residence and contact, visit channel4.com/family. Another mainstream campaigner for fathers' rights is Bob Geldof, and he explains the reasoning behind his views tomorrow at 9.